tonight.
98.1 KHAK, gonna want it tonight. That's Chase Rice, 829 with Brain and Courtlin on National Radio Day, celebrating radio stations.
Yay!
That's kind of nice. We have our own national holiday.
What do we get?
I don't know. I haven't received any cards in the mail yet.
I haven't gotten any free food or anything from...
Basically, I think it's a day to raise awareness of all the good things that local radio stations do and the fun that we get to have. And the fact that I really enjoy interacting with our listeners. I think our listeners are fantastic. They always are willing to help. They chime in when we ask for opinions and answers to things.
See, I have even extended this to using the listeners on my Facebook page because you guys are fantastic. Anytime I have a question about anything in the area, I get like 100 responses. I love it. You guys are great.
You always help out when we're doing charitable endeavors. We have our annual radiothon for Children's Miracle Network coming up in a couple of weeks, so we'll be calling on you for help, and you always come through every year with that. So that's the thing I love most about radio. I got into radio for the simple fact I did not know what else I wanted to do with my life.
I think that's what a lot of people did.
Now, granted, I remember recording songs off of the radio onto cassette tape when I was a kid.
Yep.
I remember listening for my favorite songs and then cursing at the DJ when he was talking over the ramp, which, of course, is something we do now for a living. And so, I mean, I've always liked music, but when I was in high school, I was very shy and introverted, and my parents made me go out for individual speech. They thought that would be a good way for me to break out of my shell. I was terrified.
So it was a class or like a club?
Class, kind of a contest. You competed at contests and things like that, and you had to choose a category, whether it was improvisation, whether it was, well, I chose the category, which was the only one where you're behind closed doors, which was radio, news, and broadcasting. Because I'm like, well, this is cool. I can be in a room. I don't have to be in front of the judge. I don't have to be in front of an audience. It's just me and a microphone. And it turned out that I guess I was pretty good at it. And one of the judges at one of my contests offered me a job. He was working at a radio station, a small station back in my hometown of Anamosa, and that's where I started. And got an internship at K-Hawk in 1995.
Wow. You've been here forever.
And I haven't left. I haven't left, so here I am.
You liked it so much that you stayed forever.
How did you get interested in radio and broadcasting?
To be honest, this isn't one of those things where I knew my whole life what I wanted to do. I had no idea. When I graduated high school, not a clue. I had said for a long time I wanted to be a news reporter, and I wanted to be a pediatrician, and I wanted to be a singer. So finally, when I graduated high school and I had to go take my first year of college, I went to a university just for a year, and I took all the general classes just to get those out of the way because that's what you do your first year anyways. Well, right before I scheduled classes for my second year of college, I got called to the career services department at the college, and they were like, hey, you really need to figure out what you want to do, like, right now. And I'm like, right now? They're like, yeah, pretty much right now. So I started panicking because I'm like, what do I want to do?
Oh, yeah.
And I never lived on campus. I would drive to school every day. And I would drive 45 minutes to school and 45 minutes back 5 days a week. And in that time period, I took morning classes and I listened to morning shows. There were 2 specific Detroit morning shows that I listened to religiously every single day. And finally I said, why can't I do that? I said, that's a cool job. Wouldn't that be cool to do? I could never do that, though. I could never do that. And then one day I woke up and I said, I'm going to go to Specs Howard, which is a broadcast school, and I'm going to go into radio. And it just happened to work out. So I've been here only at the station for almost a year now.
Yeah.
November will be a year, but I've been in radio for almost 4 years now.
Look at that. And that's how it began.
Yeah.
Because we didn't know what else to do.
Isn't it funny? I think a lot of radio people do that.
I think so.
They're like, I didn't know what I wanted to do. I know that I'm good at talking, and then finally, it just happens.
So thank you for listening. Happy National Radio Day. Celebrate by tuning in and keeping us employed. Man.
Thank you.
We thank you so much because I got more back to school clothes to buy. 8:34, Brain and Courtlin at K-Hawk.